Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale third-party unlicensed figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are going to be taking a look at none other than the Young Rich Toys Spider-Gwen. Now I personally have loved their Into the Spider-Verse line so far. They have had a few stumbles, most notably with their Peter Parker figure, but I'm pretty sure this one, based off the pictures that I've seen already, is going to be fantastic. Now I got mine from Comic Sanctorum. Now I have included the link in the description below for your reference purposes only, because don't forget, this is a third-party, unlicensed, unofficial item. Now this is not a promotional video, this is a review on a product that I picked up for my own personal collection. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here, of course, we have the box art for Young Rich Toys Gwen. Now, this design is very similar to their Miles and their Peter figures, and that's great. If you're lining all the boxes up, they'll match perfectly. I love this swinging pose for Gwen on the front, and of course the city skyline, plus a nice purple backdrop. You also have a metallic Young Rich Toys logo on the side, and of course some legal information on the back, plus the "Hello, my name is Spider-Man Gwen Stacy" image. Now I don't know how many people are going to opt for this version over the Hot Toys one. I know a lot of people cancelled their orders for the Young Rich Toys Gwen in favor of the official. Now, I personally am a fan of having options, so I'm going to be comparing this one to the Hot Toys release, and also seeing if the head sculpts that come with this Gwen and the civilian version are indeed compatible. But here we have the Young Rich Toys Gwen. First impressions are pretty positive. I like the way it looks and I like the way it feels in hand. Now she does of course come with one tray up on top and another down below. So what we are going to do now is get all of her accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything she comes with. Here we have all of the bits and pieces that come with Gwen Stacy. Now starting off with her display base first, it's done in the usual Young Rich Toys style. I really like these bases. They're a nice, sizable centerpiece style base. We've got the Into the Spider-Verse logo done with a little bit of a Gwen flair in the nice purple, and Gwen Stacy etched into a beautiful metal nameplate. We also have a regular crotch grabber up on top. However, if you do want to use a dynamic flight pole, they also give you this adapter. It goes into the stand and then you can screw one in. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with one, but if you do own one of their Miles figures, he does, so you could steal that and give it to Gwen. You also get this piece right here, which technically we have seen before, but basically you move this piece down, you do have to push it, and then you can connect it to the neck underneath the head sculpt to kind of give her that Spidey sense sort of look. I really like these. They're super simple yet super effective. You also get this, which technically you could give to Peter or Miles as well. It's the computer that they stole from Alchemax. You can see Alchemax is printed on the outside. The design is super simple, but it's a nice, sizable, chunky accessory. You also get the full complement of webs, just like we get from Hot Toys, the same exact sculpts here, and you also have the funnel attachment that you can attach to the end, just to give it a little bit more flair. Now I'm pretty sure y'all are curious about the head sculpt, as was I, but I am pleased to report it's really good. I like the expression, I like the subtle detail of the freckles on the cheeks, and the hair looks fantastic. This is a damn sight better than what we saw from Bullethead, so yeah, I'm super glad to have this. Will this trump the Hot Toys head sculpt? Well, we'll have to wait and see until we get it in person, but for now, yeah, I really like the way that looks. Now, to go along with the head sculpt, you do have a mask. This is of course meant to be held in her hands like she's just removed her mask, but we do also get another wearable accessory, which is this really tiny bow tie. From the scene where they go to the benefit, and of course they are all wearing the bow ties acting like wait staff, you can pop that on Gwen. You also have some interchangeable eyes for the spider-masked head sculpt. You have some thin squinting ones and some in-between ones. I currently have the biggest ones on Gwen, and you'll see those again in just a second. She also has some web shooters. Now, technically, these aren't supposed to be seen for Spider-Gwen. It's all integrated into the suit. It's a nice seamless look. But if you do want to use the webs, you will have to install the web shooters because these peg directly into them. I personally never use the webs with my Spidey figures, so these won't be ever seen on the figure. Lastly, you do get a full array of Spidey-style hands, including wall-crawling hands and some whip hands, and they're all done in a nice matte white. What we are going to do now, though, is get the figure herself out here and take a closer look. Here we have her standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And for the most part, it does what it says in the tin. It's a 1/6 scale version of Gwen Stacy from Into the Spider-Verse. Is it a perfect rendition? No, I really don't think it is. There's stuff that I am definitely sitting here scratching my head about, and we'll discuss those in just a second. But the overall look is there. I like the accessories. The interchangeable eyes specifically work very nicely on the head sculpt, and the material choice for the outfit, it looks accurate to the film. The print is also done really nicely. It also is super accurate, and I also like the punchy, vibrant pink and blue for the web details. The shoes are also a nice vibrant color, but I have a little bit more to say about those in just a second. What we are going to do now, though, is take her off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have her up close and personal. Now, honestly, I didn't really know what to expect here. Yes, I have owned most of their products before, but never a female animated style figure from them. And I have to say, I'm not overly impressed. I love their Miles figures, and I really like their Peter figures, but it feels like their quality has been on a steady decline. This one isn't horrible by any means. The outfit actually looks really good, but it's their choice of body. It looks like a real human person. Usually they would go with an animated style body specifically for this character, very thin, very lanky, and the proportions would be a little bit wacky. Here, it looks a little bit more realistic. If that's what you're going for your display, then have at it. This is a great option for you. But for me, I prefer it to look more accurate to the show. Therefore, I'm already giving my vote to the Hot Toys one. It looks exactly like it did in the film. Nevertheless, with all of that being said, from a technical perspective, yeah, this works. I like the head sculpt, it's a good shape. The eyes are massive. If you go for these ones, you can of course swap them out if you want to. Now, it is a fabric covered head, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like fabric on my Spidey head sculpts. As you can see, the pattern is down on an angle. The little triangles which make up the fabric of the suit, it's off to the side there. Not ideal by any means. I would have preferred a fully sculpted head, but nevertheless, yes, it does work. Now, you can remove the hood if you want to, and there is the accurate blue and pink spider pattern on the inside. There are also wires, so you can shape this and get it to sit down along her back. As for the outfit itself, it's a very stretchy, rubbery feeling material. I do have faith that this outfit will stand the test of time, except for one thing. As you can see, the black sections on mine are starting to show a little bit of white through them. I'm not sure if that's just an issue with mine or if they're all going to have that issue over time, but I've only had this out of the box for a short while, so I'm not exactly sure why that's already happening. I do like the look and like the feel, but if the black starts to degrade even more, then yeah, it's gonna look a little bit horrendous on the shelf. Lastly, coming down to the shoes, they are actually separate pieces. You could remove them if you wanted to, but the straps are sewn into the seam on the side. I like that they are actual straps that you can move around, but the shoes to me look slightly too bulky. Overall though, yes, if you do want a Spider-Gwen now versus whenever the Hot Toys one eventually releases, this potentially is a good option for you. But I would say just sit back, relax, and wait it out for the Hot Toys release, because that one, in my opinion, is going to be a lot better. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have the Young Rich Toys Gwen on the left, and the bullet head version on the right. Now, right off the bat, I prefer the way the bullet head version looks. I think it's just superior. I like the material better, I like the proportions better, and she even articulates better. The Young Rich Toys one, I think, wins out in terms of accessories, the head sculpt, and the outfit. I think the outfit itself looks better, but the body is what's letting it down. The proportions are a little bit weird. I do much prefer the body choice for Bullet Head. If I could some way swap the outfits between the two, that would make my ideal Gwen Stacy. But then again, the shoes are massive on the Young Rich version, whereas on the Bullet Head one, they're a little bit more subdued and I think look a hell of a lot better. But I am curious, which of these do you prefer? Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, here we have her alongside Peter B. Parker and Miles in his battle suit, also from Young Rich Toys. And these three look fantastic together. I personally do still like the bullet head version of Gwen better. I know I've said that a bunch of times already, but as it stands, these three do work. They're a very similar style of figure, and they are also all given the deluxe treatment when it comes to accessories. So I totally understand. If you are well and truly down the rabbit hole with Young Rich Toys like I am, then yes, this line makes sense standing together. Just going over articulation on Spider-Gwen. Now bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now, starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a fixed neck, but it's a slightly rubbery one, so you get a teeny amount of forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up the full way, they will swivel forward and back, and you do have a swivel, but it's down here at the elbow rather than at the bicep. We've got a single bend for the elbow and a regular smaller scale style wrist peg. Now the torso unfortunately doesn't get a ton of range forward and back. You do have swivel and a bit of pivot. The legs will go forward to there, but due to the overall springy nature of the fabric, they're pulled right back down. They will go out to about there, swivel at the upper thigh, a double bend at the knee, and of course a ball joint down here for the ankle. Now if you are new to Young Rich Toys, you probably weren't expecting this. In the box, they also include a very simple but very effective 3D style cardboard backdrop. For the top here, we do have a Young Rich Toys logo and a night sky. Then of course, down below, we have a really awesome stylized city skyline. I love the fact that it's actually raised from the background. It's a very simple construction, just like Hot Toys does for their backdrops, but that means it's going to fit right in alongside your official pieces. You also get a sticker sheet with a bunch of onomatopoeia or comic book words, a Spider-Man logo, and a few more bits and pieces, plus some screens for her smartphone. You also get these two additional stickers that I'm really not sure what to do with. If you know, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, you also get, in the box, a really awesome cardboard backdrop. Just wrapping up on the Spider-Gwen figure by Young Rich Toys. Now, going into this, I was super excited. I own their Miles figures and I own their Peter figures, and they're great releases. This one, though, isn't as good as those previous two figures. She is fairly decent, but she pretty much retains all of the stuff that they did exceedingly well, but also retains some of the questionable choices, such as the body. I don't exactly know what they were going for here. They've just gone for a regular 1/6 scale off-the-shelf female body, and I don't necessarily love the way it looks in this outfit specifically based on the animation. It should be kinda weirdly proportioned. The Hot Toys figure nails it. It looks exactly like the movie, whereas this is kind of a hybrid between the animated look and a real-life person in the Gwen suit. If that's what you're going for and you don't like the overall exaggerated proportions of the Hot Toys figure, then that's great. This is for you. But for me, I want it to look exactly like the movie. One thing that does, though, is the head sculpt. It is awesome. It's sculpted very nicely, there's a ton of texture in the hair, the paint applications are crisp and clean. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I also like the material choices for the outfit. Granted, the black sections are starting to worry me and showing some signs of white peeking through, but fingers crossed that it doesn't get any worse and I can get a replacement from Young Rich Toys. Overall, at this point in the game, I would just wait for the Hot Toys release, but if you are impatient, then this one is technically available now, so I totally understand if this is something for you. Now, I got mine from Comic Sanctorum. I have included the link down below for your reference purposes only, because don't forget, this is a third-party, unlicensed, unofficial item made by Young Rich Toys. While you are down in the description, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.